Hey there, young historians! Welcome back to our channel, where we explore the amazing stories and incredible facts from the past. Today, we're diving deep into the world of the Roman Empire with a special video uncovering 50 facts and myths about this legendary civilization. From its powerful leaders and impressive inventions to the fascinating myths that have been told for centuries, we've got a treasure trove of stories to share with you. So, grab your time travel hats and get ready to journey through ancient Rome. If you enjoy learning about history, make sure to hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more awesome content. Let's get started. Fact number 1, the birth of Rome. Our adventure begins with the legendary story of how Rome was founded. According to ancient myth, Rome was founded by twin brothers named Romulus and Remus. They were said to have been raised by a she-wolf after being abandoned as babies. One day, they decided to build a city, but after a disagreement, Romulus ended up building the city on his own and named it Rome after himself. Fact number 2, the Roman Republic. Before Rome became an empire, it was a republic. This means that instead of having a king, the Romans elected leaders called consuls to rule over them. The Roman Republic was known for its system of checks and balances, where different parts of the government had to work together to make decisions. This system inspired many modern democracies, including the United States. Fact number 3, the powerful Roman army. The Roman army was one of the most powerful and disciplined fighting forces in history. Roman soldiers, called legionaries, were highly trained and well-equipped. They wore armor made of metal plates and carried large shields for protection. The Roman army was so strong that it conquered vast territories and spread Roman culture all across Europe, Africa, and Asia. Fact number 4, Roman roads. Have you ever heard the saying, all roads lead to Rome? That's because the Romans built an extensive network of roads that connected their empire. These roads were made of stone and were so well constructed that many of them are still used today. Roman roads made it easy for soldiers, traders, and travelers to move quickly and safely across the empire. Fact number 5, aqueducts and water supply. The Romans were brilliant engineers, and one of their most impressive inventions was the aqueduct. Aqueducts were large, bridge-like structures that carried fresh water from the mountains into the cities. This allowed the Romans to have clean water for drinking, bathing, and even filling their famous public baths. Imagine having a water park right in the middle of your city. Fact number 6, the Colosseum. The Colosseum is one of the most famous landmarks in Rome and is known for hosting spectacular events. This massive amphitheater could hold up to 50,000 spectators who came to watch gladiator fights, animal hunts, and even mock sea battles. The Colosseum was an important part of Roman entertainment and showcased the empire's architectural genius. Fact number 7, gladiators. Gladiators were skilled fighters who entertained the crowds with their combat skills. They were often slaves, prisoners of war, or volunteers seeking fame and fortune. Gladiators trained in special schools and fought in the Colosseum, where they became legends if they survived the brutal battles. Fact number 8, Roman gods and goddesses. The Romans worshipped many gods and goddesses, each with their own unique powers and responsibilities. Jupiter was the king of the gods, while Mars was the god of war, and Venus was the goddess of love. The Romans built magnificent temples to honor their deities and believed that pleasing the gods would bring them good fortune. Fact number 9, the Roman Forum. The Roman Forum was the heart of ancient Rome, where important government buildings, temples, and markets were located. It was the center of political, social, and commercial life in the city. People gathered here to watch public speeches, celebrate victories, and conduct business. Fact number 10, Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar was one of Rome's most famous leaders. He was a brilliant military general who expanded the Roman Empire by conquering Gaul, modern-day France. Caesar's rise to power marked the end of the Roman Republic and the beginning of the Roman Empire. He was eventually assassinated by a group of senators who feared he was becoming too powerful. Fact number 11, the Roman Senate. The Roman Senate was a group of influential men who advised the consuls and later the emperors. Senators were usually from wealthy and noble families. The Senate played a crucial role in Roman politics, making important decisions about laws, finances, and foreign policy. Fact number 12, Augustus and the Pax Romana. Augustus was the first emperor of Rome and the adopted son of Julius Caesar. His reign marked the beginning of the Pax Romana, a period of peace and stability that lasted for over 200 years. During this time, the Roman Empire flourished, with advancements in art, literature, and architecture. Fact number 13, Roman architecture. Roman architecture is famous for its grand and durable structures. The Romans were experts at using concrete, which allowed them to build massive buildings like the Pantheon with its impressive dome. They also built triumphal arches to celebrate military victories and aqueducts to supply cities with water. Fact number 14. Roman baths. Public baths were an essential part of Roman daily life. These baths were like modern-day spas, where people went to relax, exercise, and socialize. They had hot and cold pools, saunas, and even libraries. The largest of these baths, the Baths of Caracalla, could accommodate thousands of people at once. Fact number 15. The Roman calendar. The calendar we use today is based on the Roman calendar. Julius Caesar reformed the calendar and introduced the Julian calendar, which had 365 days in a year and a leap year every 4 years. This calendar was later modified to become the Gregorian calendar, which we still use today. Fact number 16. Roman literature and poetry. The Romans loved literature and poetry. Famous writers like Virgil, Ovid, and Horace wrote epic poems, love stories, and satires that are still read and admired today. Virgil's Aeneid, an epic poem about the founding of Rome, is considered one of the greatest works of Latin literature. Fact number 17. Roman education. Roman education was highly valued, especially for boys from wealthy families. They were taught reading, writing, math, and rhetoric, the art of public speaking. Girls were usually educated at home, learning skills like weaving and managing a household. Wealthy Romans often hired Greek tutors to teach their children. Fact number 18. Roman clothing. The Romans had a distinct style of clothing. Men wore tunics and togas, while women wore stolas and pallas. Togas were long pieces of cloth draped over the shoulder and around the body, signifying Roman citizenship. Wealthy Romans often wore clothes made of fine fabrics and decorated with colorful patterns. Fact number 19. Roman food. Roman cuisine was diverse and delicious. They enjoyed a variety of foods, including bread, olives, cheese, fruits, and vegetables. Wealthy Romans feasted on exotic dishes like roasted peacock and stuffed dormice. They also loved wine and had elaborate banquets with multiple courses. Fact number 20. Roman games and entertainment. The Romans loved games and entertainment. In addition to gladiator fights, they enjoyed chariot races held at the Circus Maximus, which could hold up to 250,000 spectators. They also played board games, went to the theater to watch plays, and participated in athletic competitions. Fact number 21. Roman religion and festivals. Religion was an important part of Roman life, and they celebrated many festivals throughout the year. These festivals honored various gods and goddesses and included feasts, parades, and games. One of the most famous festivals was Saturnalia, a winter celebration where people exchanged gifts and enjoyed feasts. Fact number 22. Roman inventions. The Romans were incredible inventors. They created many things we still use today, like concrete, aqueducts, and roads. They also developed advanced plumbing systems with sewers to keep their cities clean. The Romans even invented the first newspaper, called the Acta Diurna, which was a daily bulletin of news and announcements. Fact number 23. The fall of the Roman Empire. Despite its greatness, the Roman Empire eventually fell. By the 5th century, the empire was weakened by internal problems like political corruption, economic troubles, and invasions by barbarian tribes. In 476 AD, the last Roman emperor was overthrown, marking the end of the Western Roman Empire. Fact number 24. The legacy of Rome. Even though the Roman Empire fell, its legacy lives on. Roman law, language, and culture have influenced many aspects of modern life. Latin, the language of the Romans, is the basis for many languages spoken today, like Italian, French, and Spanish. Roman architecture, engineering, and art continue to inspire people around the world. Fact number 25. The Roman Concrete Revolution. One more mind-blowing fact about the Roman Empire is their revolutionary use of concrete. Roman concrete, known as opus caementicium, was a groundbreaking material that allowed the Romans to build incredibly durable and long-lasting structures. Unlike modern concrete, Roman concrete was made using volcanic ash, lime, and seawater, which created a chemical reaction that made it stronger over time. This amazing innovation is why many Roman buildings, like the Pantheon with its massive dome, have survived for over 2,000 years. The secrets of Roman concrete were so advanced that modern scientists are still studying it to unlock its mysteries and potentially use it to create more sustainable and durable construction materials today. And there you have it, 25 mind-blowing facts about the Roman Empire. From legendary founders to impressive inventions, the Romans truly shaped our world. But our adventure isn't over yet. Now, let's dive into 25 fascinating myths about the Roman Empire and uncover the legendary tales that have captivated imaginations for centuries. Myth number 1. The founding of Rome by Romulus and Remus. One of the most famous myths about Rome is its founding by twin brothers Romulus and Remus. According to legend, they were the sons of Mars and a Vestal virgin named Rhea Silvia. Abandoned as babies, they were found and suckled by a she-wolf and later raised by a shepherd. Romulus and Remus decided to build a city together, but after a disagreement, Romulus killed Remus and founded Rome, becoming its first king and naming the city after himself. Myth number 2. The rape of the Sabine women. This myth tells the story of how early Romans, needing wives, kidnapped women from the neighboring Sabine tribe during a festival. The Sabine men later waged war to get them back, but the women, now married to the Romans, intervened, creating peace and uniting the two groups. This story is often seen as a symbol of the merging of different cultures to strengthen Rome. Myth number 3. The myth of Aeneas. According to Roman mythology, Aeneas, a Trojan hero, fled the burning city of Troy and eventually settled in Italy. He is considered an ancestor of Romulus and Remus and thus an important figure in the legendary history of Rome. Aeneas's journey was filled with adventures and divine interventions, and his story is celebrated in Virgil's epic poem, the Aeneid. Myth number 4. The Horatii and the Curiatii. This myth tells the tale of three Roman brothers, the Horatii, who fought three brothers from the neighboring city of Alba Longa, the Curiatii, to settle a dispute between their cities. In a fierce battle, two Horatii were killed, but the last surviving Horatius cleverly defeated the injured Curiatii one by one. This victory secured Rome's dominance over Alba Longa and demonstrated the importance of bravery and strategy. Myth number 5. Lucretia's tragic tale. Lucretia was a noblewoman whose tragic fate led to the end of the Roman kingdom. According to legend, her assault by Sextus Tarquinius, the son of the last king, and her subsequent suicide spurred the Romans to overthrow the monarchy and establish the Republic. Lucretia's story became a powerful symbol of honor and resistance against tyranny. Myth number 6. The myth of Numa Pompilius. Numa Pompilius, the second king of Rome, was said to be a wise and pious ruler who established many of Rome's religious and legal institutions. Legends say he received guidance from a nymph named Egeria, who taught him about laws and rituals. Numa's peaceful and religious reign set a foundation for Rome's future stability and prosperity. Myth number 7. The Sibyl's Prophecy. The myth of the Sibyl, a prophetess, tells how she offered 9 sacred books to the last king of Rome, Tarquin the Proud. When he refused due to the high price, she burned 3 and offered the remaining 6 for the same price. He refused again, and she burned 3 more. Finally, he bought the last 3 at the original price, recognizing their importance. These Sibylline books contained prophecies and were consulted by Roman officials in times of crisis. Myth number 8. The story of Cloelia. Cloelia was a young Roman girl who, according to legend, was taken hostage by the Etruscan king Lars Porsena. She bravely escaped, leading a group of hostages across the Tiber River. Impressed by her courage, Porsena allowed her to choose half of the remaining hostages to be freed. Cloelia's bravery made her a celebrated heroine in Roman history. Myth number 9. The myth of Horatius at the bridge. Horatius Cocles was a Roman hero who, according to legend, single-handedly defended the Pons Sublicius Bridge against an invading Etruscan army. As the enemy approached, Horatius stood firm, fighting them off while his fellow Romans dismantled the bridge behind him. Despite being wounded, he held his ground until the bridge was destroyed, preventing the Etruscans from entering the city. Myth number 10. The tale of Mucius Scaevola. Gaius Mucius Scaevola was a Roman hero who, according to myth, attempted to assassinate the Etruscan king Lars Porsena. When captured, he thrust his hand into a fire to show his bravery, earning him the nickname Scaevola, meaning left-handed. Impressed by his courage, Porsena released him and sought peace with Rome. Scaevola's act of defiance became legendary, embodying Roman valor. Myth number 11. The legend of the Tarpeian Rock. The Tarpeian Rock was a cliff in Rome from which traitors were thrown to their deaths. According to legend, it was named after Tarpeia, a maiden who betrayed Rome to the Sabines in exchange for what they wore on their arms. She was expecting gold bracelets but was instead crushed under their shields as punishment for her betrayal. Myth number 12. The myth of the Bona Dea Scandal. The Bona Dea Scandal involved a sacred festival for women only, dedicated to the goddess Bona Dea. According to myth, The young politician Publius Clodius Pulcher sneaked into the festival disguised as a woman, causing a great scandal and leading to his trial. Although acquitted due to political influence, the scandal damaged his reputation and led to Caesar divorcing his wife, Pompeia, stating that his wife must be above suspicion. Myth number 13, the story of the Roman eagle. The Roman legions carried a standard with a silver or gold eagle on top, called an aquila. According to myth, the eagle was sacred and considered to have protective powers, guiding and safeguarding the legion in battle. The loss of an aquila was seen as a great dishonor, and retrieving it was of utmost importance, symbolizing the strength and unity of the Roman army. Myth number 14, the legend of the Sibylline books. The Sibylline books were ancient prophetic texts consulted by Roman officials in times of crisis. According to myth, they contained the wisdom of the gods and were kept in the temple of Jupiter on the Capitoline Hill. The books were believed to guide Rome through disasters and important decisions, playing a crucial role in shaping Roman religious and political life. Myth number 15, the myth of the Gorgon Medusa on shields. Roman soldiers often depicted the head of the Gorgon Medusa on their shields. According to myth, her image had the power to turn enemies to stone, providing magical protection in battle. This use of mythological symbols reflected the Romans' belief in the supernatural and their desire to invoke divine favor and protection in warfare. Myth number 16, the story of Cincinnatus. Cincinnatus was a Roman farmer who, according to legend, was appointed dictator to save Rome from invasion. After his victory, he immediately resigned and returned to his farm, embodying Roman virtues of humility and duty. He was seen as the ideal Roman citizen, putting the needs of the state above personal gain, and his story inspired future generations. Myth number 17, the myth of the Capitol's geese. According to myth, during a surprise attack by the Gauls, the sacred geese of Juno on the Capitoline Hill cackled loudly, alerting the Romans to the danger and saving the city from capture. The geese were credited with protecting Rome, and in their honor, the Romans held an annual ceremony celebrating their vigilance. Myth number 18, the tale of Romulus' disappearance. Romulus, the legendary founder of Rome, is said to have mysteriously disappeared in a storm during a public assembly. According to myth, he was taken up to heaven by the gods and later worshipped as the god Quirinus. His sudden disappearance led to various speculations, including his assassination by jealous senators. Myth number 19, the legend of the Vestal Virgins. The Vestal Virgins were priestesses dedicated to Vesta, the goddess of the hearth. According to myth, they were tasked with keeping the sacred fire burning, and if they failed, it was believed Rome would fall. Chosen as young girls, they served for 30 years, maintaining their chastity and performing various religious duties. Myth number 20, the story of the Capitoline wolf. The Capitoline wolf is a famous statue depicting a she-wolf suckling the twins Romulus and Remus. According to legend, the wolf was a protector of the twins and symbolized the strength and resilience of Rome. The statue became an iconic representation of Rome's mythical origins. Myth number 21, the myth of Janus. Janus was the Roman god of beginnings, gates, transitions, and endings. According to myth, he had two faces, one looking to the past and the other to the future, symbolizing the duality of time and the importance of new beginnings. Janus was often invoked at the start of important events, such as wars or harvests. Myth number 22, the tale of the Lupercalia festival. Lupercalia was an ancient Roman festival celebrated in February. According to myth, it was held to purify the city and promote fertility. Involving rituals such as the sacrifice of goats and the running of young men around the city, striking women with strips of goat hide to ensure fertility. Myth number 23, the legend of the Golden Fleece. The Golden Fleece was a symbol of authority and kingship in Roman mythology. According to legend, it was sought by the hero Jason and the Argonauts, and possessing it granted the right to rule. The fleece represented power, legitimacy, and divine favor. Myth number 24, the myth of the Roman Lares and Penates. The Lares and Penates were household gods worshipped by the Romans. According to myth, they protected the home and family, and each household had a shrine where offerings were made to these deities. The Lares were guardians of the household and the surrounding land, while the Penates were associated with the pantry and food supply. Myth number 25, the story of the Capitoline Triad. The Capitoline Triad consisted of three major Roman gods, Jupiter, Juno, and Minerva. According to myth, they were worshipped together at the Grand Temple of Jupiter Optimus Maximus on the Capitoline Hill, symbolizing the unity and strength of Rome. Jupiter was the king of the gods, Juno was his wife and the protector of women, and Minerva was the goddess of wisdom and war. And there you have it, 25 mind-blowing myths about the Roman Empire. From legendary founders and heroic tales to mysterious disappearances and divine interventions, these myths have shaped the way we view this incredible civilization. These stories remind us that the Romans were not just builders and conquerors, but also storytellers who left behind a rich tapestry of legends. Wow, what an adventure we've had today, uncovering the incredible facts and legendary myths of the Roman Empire. We hope you enjoyed exploring the 50 fascinating facts and myths from Rome's past as much as we did. If you found this video interesting, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends to spread the knowledge, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting historical journeys. Thanks for joining us, young historians, and until next time, keep exploring and imagining.